Good morning. Good morning. I just got cleaned up this morning a little bit ahead of time, making a first cup of tea. Parked here at the Amtrak station again. It was better last night. It was quiet. There were no disruptions, no furious lover fights outside. Just nice. And really enjoyed being able to get cleaned up in the shower. For those of you who have a van or are thinking about getting a van, don't neglect your shower. Use your shower. That's why you have it. It's so homey, because I have my ritual at home before I go to bed. And it always involves taking a nice, relaxing shower and then just feeling all fresh and clean before I climb into bed. And so it's nice being able to continue that ritual here in the van. And the bedroom was great. I have to say, the Panoramic's very well insulated. It dropped down probably into the 50s last night, but it stayed just really constant in here. Very nice temperature all night. Didn't need the heater or anything. Probably 60 some degrees inside the van. For me, perfect temperature for sleeping. I'll join you in the lounge. So, I'm really liking, this is the second time that I've stayed at an Amtrak station, and I like it. Now, according to Phil, or for those of you who are looking to, urban camp and boondock, he said there's like a baseball park right across the street. And he would normally stay there, but then one night a police officer came by and asked him to move, and Phil asked him, well, where should I go? And the police officer said, well, there's an Amtrak station right across the street, just go there, that's okay. So apparently, at least here in Simi Valley, it's okay to park overnight here at the Amtrak station. And I see a trailer that's been unhitched right over here. And Phil tells me this white pickup truck up here is by a gentleman who's been here for years. He just parks his truck here, and this is where he stays. So I like having a list of options. So because I like to boondock. I like to also camp at campgrounds, but I do like to boondock. And so knowing that I can stay at Amtrak stations is another one I'll put in my list. Amtrak stations, Anytime Fitnesses, so far those have worked. And so I just kind of have my list now that I go down. Or sometimes just, like we did in San Francisco, we saw street parking, which said you could park overnight. So there's always options. There's lots of options. And that's one of the things I really love about Class B van life and traveling in a Class B is it's really set up for wanderlust and just exploration and hopping in your van and going someplace and Not necessarily. I mean, you can have a plan, but not necessarily having a plan. Yeah, that's nice. Okay. Well, today, what's on the agenda? Today, we're going to make our way down to Palm Springs from here. It's about a 2-hour drive. So I'll break fast, probably break fast here, do something quick. My stove's still not working. I've got a couple more tricks I'm going to try. I'm just wondering if, there's probably not, I'm wondering if there's a bubble in the line or something like that. That's, because I notice underneath the sink, the line goes like this. But there should be enough gas pressure to push, you know, any air bubble out like that. But it's possible. So I'm going to try to find a hill, and I'm going to park the van on an incline. See if that changes, you know, the pressure, and maybe the air bubble gets pushed out. And also on a decline and do the same thing. Those are the last two things I'm going to try. And then if they don't work, then we'll work with Panoramic to get it replaced. I've been told by Phil that it's uncommon for the stove to be completely out like this. Like usually there's a fix, there's a workaround for it. So I'm still optimistic that we'll find that fix and that workaround. But in the meantime, let me show you. In the meantime, I got me one of these. Nothing fancy, not an induction burner, but only $16 at Walmart, and it's perfectly fine. This is going to work great. It's small, it fits right in the drawer, and even after I get the stovetop fixed, I'll be able to use this outside. You know, if I'm cooking fish or something like that, just there's a plug right outside, and I can just use this right outside. So, something good came out of this, right? Oh, okay. I'll finish up here, break my fast, and then we'll hit the road. All right. Thanks for joining me for my first morning cup of tea. All right. So Phil's, you know, he is all things Panoramic. He's also, look at this, talk about like first class white glove service. So we tried everything in the world. I mean, Phil tried everything, and he thinks we just happened to get a defective, probably regulator.
Yeah,
on the
there,
stove. On the stove. So he has offered very generously, very kindly, to put a new stove in here before I head down to Palm Springs, which is very nice of you, Phil.
And I'm not the best handyman, but I'm sure we can get the job done.
Yeah, this is really going to help with things because you know, I've got meals and stuff. But we did get that little I showed you earlier. We got the little, and I put, you know, countertop burner, electric burner, which is also nice to have with you if you want to cook outside. Also, if you just don't want to use propane and just go off electricity and then recharge with solar or from the generator. Hey, this is a good opportunity, my friend, to look at, see how nicely the wires here, that's the step control there, and they're all kind of nicely attached. So when you're going down the road, for the most part, it's not really going to rattle. Maybe that might rattle a little bit, but not too bad. I always like to take an opportunity and look behind the scenes and see how clean it is, and I think this looks pretty good. Pretty clean. Oh, okay. Okay, this is the new stove. Big test.
Yeah, just the sound is much better.
Phil, you're the man.
Et voila.
Et voila. Phil, thank you so much.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Let me grab the...
So we got a stove working, and I'm sure we'll find out. I'm sure it's a regulator on the old one.
Yeah, Oh yes, it is. I'm curious. I'm gonna plug back in my unit because I'm curious to see if just that manipulation will make it work.
Okay, my friend, we are on our way, leaving Simi Valley and heading toward the hot oven. We're heading toward Palm Springs. I didn't check. I'm sure it's triple digits there. It's 80 degrees here, so I know it's at least 20 degrees warmer there. It's going to be a lovely drive. 2.5 hours to get to our destination. We're just going to take it easy. And yeah, when we get there, my friend whom we're visiting, he is flying in later tonight. So he's not there at the moment, but he'll be coming back later. We'll have a chance to test out the air conditioner to make sure that it's going to do its job. So we'll see. All right, let's enjoy the drive. I'm very happy that we have a new stove, that Phil put in a new stove. What a nice guy. Pulled it out of one of his demo units and dropped it right in here. That's so great. We have arrived to our final destination, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get into these gates. Please remain seated. Okay, we are here. It is 99 degrees out, so we're not quite triple digits, but it is hot. I think I'm going to not turn on the air conditioner yet because I'll be inside their house. And when I come back tonight, it'll be hot in here, but when I come back tonight, I'll just run it and chill down. I'll follow Phil's advice, chill down the whole inside before going to bed. So we'll see how that runs. I don't know, maybe I'll lower the shades and I'll just set it to like at 80 degrees or something just to keep it cool. I'm not sure. Anyway, I'll check back in with you probably tonight as we're getting ready for bed. Thanks for driving along with me. It was lovely. It was a nice drive. Not really for LA. We went through LA and San Bernardino and all that. Not really a lot of traffic. So I can't complain about that. And while it is hot here, it's the desert, right? It's Palm Springs. That's the way it should be. Okay. See you soon. It's really beautiful. Tropical, almost. I think I might actually sleep with the sliding door open and the screen down because it's not going to get any lower than 72 degrees tonight. This is just, it's like lovely. It's just it's so lovely. And where I'm at is in a gated community, so there's no foot traffic. There's nothing like that. There's not even sidewalks. Why don't you just spend a moment with me and just kind of enjoy the sound of the breeze blowing through the palm trees above you, and just kind of enjoy this desert evening. Okay, it's that time to shut everything off. It's probably around 85 degrees outside, a little bit humid. It's supposed to drop down over the course of the night to, around 6 o'clock this morning. It'll go down to 72. I feel all refreshed. I just took my shower. And so now we're going to try the fill trick. We're going to button everything up, close everything up, and then we're going to turn on the air conditioner and cool it down here for about an hour. So, all right, it's around, yeah, here we go. There we go. Shut the windows. Shut the skylight above you. Shut these windows. Okay, I think that's everything. And I think I'm just gonna, I was gonna start the engine to help also cool it down. I think I'm gonna do that because it's not gonna take up a lot of gas. It'll also help cool it down and recharge the batteries that we're using. So let me do that. And while we're cooling down the van, I think I'm going to watch a little bit of TV with the Apple TV. We're just going to watch a little Apple TV while we're waiting for the interior to cool. So we want to, according to Phil, we want to let it chill down for about an hour. So that's perfect time to watch an episode of Silo, which is what we're going to watch. So let's do that. Okay, well, it's nice and cool in here. We'll see if it holds, so we'll check in tomorrow morning. But hopefully it stays nice and cool with the insulation. All right, sleep well. I'll see you tomorrow morning. Bye. Okay, the air conditioner has been running for over an hour. I'm in the bedroom. I put the curtain up here to keep all the cold air in here, and it's chilly. It's probably around 64 degrees in here, so it's pretty chilly. It's a lot cooler here than out there because all the air conditioning from above here just for an hour was cooling everything off in here. So it's pretty cool. Now Phil says because the RV is so well insulated that the temperature will just slowly rise, but it won't be uncomfortable. So that's what I'm hoping. I'll let you know in the morning. Okay. Good night. Well, good morning. You can see I've torn up the bed. I took the furry blanket. It's usually the electric blanket that's laid down. I took it up because it was just so warm last night. The air conditioner was a fail. It didn't fail. It was so hot. So I tried to do what Phil said. May have done it wrong. I chilled the van down for about 2 hours. It was a long time. I kept the drape up here, so all the cold air kind of stayed in the bedroom. And when I first came to bed, it was nice and chilly back here. It was like an ice box back here. But pretty quickly it heated up. And I don't know if that's because at the bottom of the shade here that you hang up here, there's a little gap. I don't know if all the cold air just kind of ran out like a waterfall, which could have happened because when I was running it for those 2 hours and I was sitting in the front, I could really feel the cold air at my feet. It was like a little brook of cold air just swirling around my feet. So that could be that all the effort that I was doing to cool in here was escaping. It could also be that I shouldn't have that drape up, that when I'm cooling I should just cool the entire van down. The whole van should become an ice box, because what Phil said was you need to really, it's about dehumidifying the air. And so if you take as much moisture out of the air, then it'll really stay cool because of the insulation in the van. So that's also possible. This probably was really dehumidified in here, and out there, because there was not a lot of air conditioning reaching there, it was still a lot of humidity. That's a possibility. So tonight I'll try it differently. Tonight I'll try it where I'll just leave the drape off and I'll try cooling the van. Right now I've got the max air fan set to suck air out. I've got all the windows open. It's 72 degrees out. It's 5:30 in the morning. And so when I woke up this morning, it was 81 degrees inside the van. And so I didn't sleep well. So it's dropping right now. I'm trying to suck as much of the hot air out that accumulated in here and just get the interior down. The battery level went from about 98% yesterday to right now it's like at 50%, maybe 48%. But that's with that 2 hours of air conditioning, and this morning having the max air, and I have the Aventa air circulator on, so I have both those running. And those have been running for over an hour. So yeah, we've used 50% of our energy. So today, I'm going to be curious to find out, it's going to heat up to over 100 degrees. So I'm going to see how much of the battery recharges and how much driving do I need to do to get the batteries back up to 100%, because when we start the cycle again tonight, we need preferably have 100% of battery. That would be my preference. And I want to find shade today because it'll really help, I think, keep us cooler to be out of the direct sun, because where we're at right now, we're just right in the middle, under the desert sun. There's no trees over us or anything like that. So it's going to get just like an oven in here. So I'm going to drive around today and look for a park or someplace. This is kind of what we have to do. I don't know Palm Springs that well, and so it'll be nice to just kind of explore a little bit. This is one of the reasons why I want to do a guide for people, is so that anything that I find out I can share with you all. All right, well, I mean, it wasn't terrible, all things considered. I did sleep. But yeah, we're learning, right? Okay, I think I'm just going to roll these blankets up. I don't need them. It's summertime. And I might go to the store and get just a light summer blanket to throw down over the sheets. Now's when I want to have that little washer. I have one at home, a little countertop washing machine, and I've used it before in my other van, and it's enough that I could fit like this queen fitted sheet into it, because I want to wash it, and I have some of my own clothes. So I think in the future. I'm going to bring that in the van now. I can use my friend's washer, but it's just more convenient just to throw it in right here. Just stick it in the bathroom here in the floor and let it drain out in there. It doesn't use a lot of water. It certainly doesn't use a lot of energy. So that's something we'll try too. Okay. I might just lay down. It is early. I might just lay down for a little bit longer and then I'll get rolling here in a second. My friends, they're both going to work, so I'll have the house to myself. I might use their pool today. I might show you. It's like a little resort. It's really nice. So they actually have their guest house set up for me. But I said, oh, I don't want to use it. I want to use my van. But if for some reason I can't figure out the cooling situation, which I think I can, then that's my backup. It's air conditioned and everything, so I can just use the guest house. But yeah, maybe I'll show you their pool and everything. Okay, I'm going to lay down a little bit more. So I have the sliding door open, have the windows open, the sunroof open, and I'm just going to kind of camp here for a little bit until the sun moves more overhead. It's still, morning time, so the sun's going to come overhead, and at that point, this shade behind you the tree's not going to provide much shade. But for now, I want to take advantage of that. And then when that happens, we're going to go and kind of sightsee and drive around Palm Springs, with the goal being to find a shaded parking spot. So let's just kind of hang out here for a little bit and enjoy this beautiful desert morning. Birds are chirping outside, and then get on with our day later. It's interesting. I used it said 60% of my battery last night to run the air conditioner, the fans, all that stuff, and I've been out here in the sun for 3 or 4 hours this morning, and it says the battery's up to 100%. So I don't believe that. I think something's a little bit off, because I know we weren't pulling in that much power from the sun, because it's not overhead, it's over there. But we'll see. And it's still pulling in charge, even though it says 100%. It's still pulling in 100% solar energy, or it was. We're in the shade now. So anyways, this is all learning experience for me to really understand how the van performs in like a desert setting, because I got it in the winter, and so now coming down here in the heat, we're getting to test the air conditioner, and I'm learning about the energy systems and the capacity, how much the batteries can operate the air conditioner, at what duty cycle, how much solar comes in, all of those things. So it's a great learning experience. But okay, let's just kind of enjoy our morning. Okay, I don't know if you can see through the windows, but we are still parked in front of my friend's house, and it is approaching noon. It's approaching time to break fast, and the sun is about overhead, so this tree is about at the end of its ability to provide shade to us. So I've been watching the full photovoltaic reading on the solar panels, and just watching it creep up, which means more and more sunlight is hitting the top of the van. And so I'm looking out the window here, and I can see the shadow creeping in here toward us on the driver's side as the sun comes up over. So it is time to go. We're going to go check out this recommended place that my friend here recommended. It's like a mall and food court and all of that. But they have a solar covered parking there, which will provide shade. So we're going to go check that out first. And then if that doesn't work out, then we're just going to kind of meander and drive around aimlessly looking for a place, because it is high noon, and so we want to get into the shade. Now, oh, how lovely, we have yellow flower. This is very, look at this. We have yellow flowers here. Isn't that beautiful? So I have the rear air conditioner going. It's funny enough, the battery monitor said that I used 60% of my battery power last evening through last night trying to cool down the van. But as of this morning, and I was in direct sunlight for part of the morning, but most of the time here I've been sitting in the shade with very little solar, but the battery meter says we're at 94%. So either I don't know how accurate, those the battery monitor is, the readings. This is all stuff you learn about your van. But that's what it says. We'll find out. The proof is tonight when we need to run the air conditioner. Is it going to last the amount of time we need it to last, which is 4 to 5 hours. That's what I think. Or if I go all night, it'll be 4 or 5 hours. So let's find out. Okay, let's hit the road and let's see what this parking situation is like. Yeah, explore Palm Springs a little bit too. Idling a little bit rough. I'll let her warm up. Yeah, she's cold. The engine's cold. Let me get her warmed up here for a second. Let's open these vents. At night when I'm cooling off the van, I augment the rear air conditioner with the front chassis air conditioner. And because I have the drape pulled up to keep the sun out and the heat and stuff, the two side vents on the passenger driver side are kind of draped over, so I just shut them off, and that allows all the air, more powerful flow through these two center, and it's noticeable, but they'll just blast straight back this way, and it seems to work quite well. You have the rear one blasting forward and the cab one blasting back, and they seem to help each other out. All right, here we go. Current temperature outside is 90. But we're nice inside the van. We've been parked in the shade, so we're quite nice inside the van. This is really good for me because I'm from a very mild climate in Northern California in the Bay Area, and so I know many of you are in different climates than that, and so it's good for me to be here in a very hot, and it's been humid here too, so hot, humid climate, and better understand how this coach performs in the heat. Now I did have something interesting toward the tail end of my arriving here yesterday. It was the hottest part of the afternoon, around 4 o'clock. It was 99 degrees out, and I had been traveling on the highway for 2.5 hours. I got a tire pressure warning, which I don't know if it's because, as tires heat up on the road, but then also the ambient temperature is higher. I don't know if the pressure was increasing to a dangerous point on the tires. It only came up very briefly, and then it went away. So I'll keep an eye on that. Again, that's something if that is the case, that's something I never would have necessarily checking to make sure I secured everything, that I would never really run into in the Bay Area. Oh my gosh, I'm looking forward at these mountains up in front of us. And right up there between the palm trees, there's snow. Can you believe it? It's 90 degrees out, and there's still snow up there. Do you remember the last time we came out here? It was a few months ago, and all those mountaintops are just covered in snow. All these mountaintops here were covered in snow. And just a little bit later, we're at 90 degrees. Yeah, I think I might have been getting tire pressure warnings. The cold pressure, even though it's 90 degrees out, but the van has been sitting, overnight, not being driven, and the tire pressures are 64 front and 75 rear, which is normal. When I was arriving yesterday, they were 75 front and like upper 80s, like close to 88, 89 rear. So I'm wondering if they hit 90 psi on the rear and a warning light came on. That's possible. Okay, we're approaching our spot. It's called the River, and we'll find out if the van can fit underneath these covered parking spaces or not. Just something that you have to do when you're visiting out here in the desert. Okay, right past this light on the right, there it is, it says the River. And apparently there's supposed to be covered like solar panels. Oh, I see them, they're over there. Oh yeah, oh my God, so, yes, we can fit under those. No, oh, this could be great. You see them over there? All those, oh, this is great. So the covered area is all solar panels. So we're just gonna pull in there. And it looks like it's not crowded. Just gonna go over here to the right and pull in here. Yeah, we have no problem getting in here. Pull down here a little bit so we're not crowding anyone. Okay, we're gonna pull in right here. It's not crowded, so I don't think anyone will mind that I'm taking up 2 spaces. Actually, let me show you something. This is so cool. So I have the 360-degree camera on, and see the shadow down here? So it tells me I should probably pull up a little more because the sun... So there, now we're more in the middle. All right. Okay, we're parked here in the shade. It looks really open. I'll go outside and I'll show you around, but it looks really open, and I don't think anyone hopefully is going to harass us for being here. I mean, as far as they know, we're inside the mall. And if there weren't all these open parking spaces, I would not take up 2 spots, but there's just so many open parking spaces here on a Monday that I think it's probably okay to be parked here. I wish Las Vegas had more of these. I think Rancho Mirage, one of the cities here, is requiring all new parking lots to be covered in solar panels, which is a great idea. You make energy and keep your cars cool. All right, if this works out, we're going to break fast here. Let's see, what do we have? Where's my pork? No, that's garlic truffle chicken. Pork and pineapple. There it is. My drink spilled in there the other day, remember? And it made everything a little bit sticky. We're going to do a nice bubbly water as well. So we'll put that out. And our meat bag, we're going to get the pork out. Is this it? That's it. That's our pork. Boy, I have to tell you, I love this compressor refrigerator. It's a great size. I mean, I'm gone for a week. I have all my food in there. There's still lots of storage available to me. And, we're here in the desert. Everything's ice cold in there. The freezer's frozen. So I'm quite happy with that. All right, maiden voyage of our new stove. Okay. Let's see what we have going here. First thing, we're going to need to cut some ingredients up. I can do that. So just the bok choy, it looks like. And separate the bok choy into the stem part, the white, and then the green. So just separate that out. And then we need to chop up the peanuts here. Okay. So nice having you here with me as I'm adventuring forth and doing new things in the van that I've never done before. It's nice to have you experience that with me. I think I need one additional knife in the van. I need to get more of a cleaver knife because this one, I get awfully close here to the counter when I'm cutting, and I'm afraid someday I'm going to cut the corian. There's a Panoramic owner. He's a bigwig in Quebec. His name is Ricardo. He owns a bunch of restaurants and all types of other enterprises there. And he owns a Panoramic. He's friends with Phil. I've never had the pleasure of meeting him, but I was cooking with Phil when my stove went out, and Phil sent a picture to him of me cooking and said, "Eat your heart out, Ricardo." That wasn't from me, Ricardo. That was Phil. I would love to take cooking lessons from you. I mean, don't get too worked up over watching how I cook. Please, don't judge me. He has his own TV show in Quebec as well, so I'm a little intimidated. It's just so much fun being in the van with you. I find this quite enjoyable. There's something quite pleasing about making a full, real meal in your van, in your vehicle, just wherever you are. I think we're ready to go. So they want us to drain the pineapple. They're already drained. Add a little bit of olive oil. Oh, look at that, lit right up. Thank you, Phil. Thank you, Panoramic. Now the rest of this, it should go really fast. They want us to add the ground pork. Okay, there we go. And the bok choy stems that we separated out. The pineapple, a little bit of salt and pepper. Pineapple, and a little bit of salt and pepper. Good. Pepper. All right, so after this is done, we add the noodles, the sauce, the bok choy leaves, this teriyaki glaze, if we want some sriracha, and then a little bit of salt and pepper, and we'll be done with it. That's it. Okay, I think the pork is all done. Let's go ahead and add our final ingredients. It's just our noodles, the rest of the green parts of our bok choy leaves, our teriyaki sauce. I'm not going to put all of that in there because I don't need all that sweetness. Although I added most of it. Pepper. Okay. I think we're done. Put some peanuts on here. What do you think? It's a nice fresh lunch. Ricardo, does that meet somewhat of your seal of approval? I hope so. Better than eating a bowl of ramen. Okay, let's enjoy. A little bit of bubbly water. The water's been in the refrigerator cooling all night. Bon appetit. Very nice. The flavor, I like the pork juices mixing with the teriyaki. There's a little bit of I don't know if the spicy, I don't know if it's ginger. The crunchiness of the bok choy. It's the sriracha, not ginger. It's the sriracha with the teriyaki. Very nice combo. And then you have the pineapples for sweetness. The noodles are soaking up all of the juices. So when you bite into them, they have a nice flavor. Very nice. These these HomeChef meals, you really ought to consider some type of packaged meal if you're going to be taking your coach out. It's changed. It's just changed how I make meals in the coach. It's so much easier not having to go shopping, having sometimes before I would use meal kits, I would forget what spices or, I wouldn't always have what I needed. And with the kits, they always give you all those things inside the kit. So you're never lacking. You're never finding that you need something. And the meals are, well, you saw how easy that was. They're very easy to make. And they're tasty. They're really tasty. And I'm a little bit of a skinflint. I never pay more than their minimum price. They can go up to like 20 for steaks and stuff like that. They can go up to like $20 some a meal, and I never pay more than $8.99 per meal. So every meal that you have thus far seen me make on my channel has been an $8.99 meal, $8.99 meal. And when I travel solo like this and Julio's not with me, then one meal kit, I'll get 2 meals out of it. So the rest that's left in the pan, that will just go in the fridge, and that will be a lunch or a dinner later. So it's really quite economical. I like to use my galley. I don't have a problem making meals in the van. I cook in it quite often, and I know some people kind of avoid cooking in the van because the smells. But I cook quite often in my van, but it still smells new in here. I've had guests come in and tell me that it still smells like a new car in here. I think it's a matter of what you make, and I'm always pretty fastidious about ventilation. So I've got my little routine down. You see me. I open one of these windows. If I'm frying something, I'll put the little drape separator up to the bedroom so that the smells, the oils and the air can't get back there. And then I just turn on the vent, the fan in the galley. Yeah, it seems to do the trick. In fact, this morning I cleaned that screen on it because there was a little bit of debris, and so it's very easy to take it off. I took it off and took it to the sink, and it was quite oily. Yeah, I was surprised how oily it was. So I washed it with soap and stuff in the sink, and now it looks brand new. But that tells me that it's working. You know, it's properly sucking all of that oil droplets that are in the air out and venting it out of the van, which is why my van doesn't smell like a lot of cooking. I'm gonna stay here for a while unless someone kicks me out, which I don't think they will, because it's nice and covered, and it's gonna just be cooler, easier on the air conditioner. And then I need to head back to my friend's house at around 3 o'clock because I'm going with my friend. We're going to go to a brand new spa, just a gorgeous spa, and so we're going to go there and spend the afternoon, and then have dinner somewhere over there. So that's my evening plans, and so we'll get back together most likely, in the evening time, maybe as it's time to wrap up and wind the evening down. So thank you for joining me for lunch.